Hi, my name is Cassian Nuñez. I'm a financial planner, real estate investor, and mortgage loan originator. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the wealth management client roadmap. So the first thing that is important to understand is that if you decide to become a RINO, which is to say become a part of the RINO Invest community, and take that step to become a client or to become a student or to become an investor of some sort, that we believe at RINO INVEST Wealth Management that real estate is the number one asset to achieve financial independence. That's what we assist people in doing here at this firm, achieve financial independence. The way we do it is by increasing the financial literacy and IQ and by investing in real estate. So as we look at this client roadmap, it is focused primarily on being a real estate investor, taking you from starter to expert. So let's jump in. So the first phase is the starter phase, right? Your mom and pop phase. The progress here in terms of the number of properties that we're talking about is anywhere from 0 to 5 properties. And these are smaller deals. So $250,000 or less. You can find these types of properties in markets like Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Little Rock, Arkansas, Cincinnati, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee. There are a bunch of different places where you can find a new or like new, which is to say 10 years or newer, property in these markets that makes sense from a financial perspective. So 1 to 5, 0 to 5 properties, you're starting out your mom and pop. Some of the problems that you're going to run into is you don't know how to invest and you don't know where the money's coming from, right? Those are two very common problems to find as you start this journey toward becoming a real estate investor with the intent to achieve financial independence. Our recommendation for solutions is to take the real estate investing course. You can purchase that a la carte. You automatically receive it once you become a part of Club RINO Plus. It is one of 4 courses that we offer. But this course is going to explain to you how to get funding, how to place your properties in limited liability companies, how to create pro formas to make sure that before you purchase the property, you know if it's going to be, or you have a better idea rather, if it's going to be a good venture for you to take. So you got to increase your financial literacy in order to take advantage of this asset class. And that's how you get over the I don't know how to invest problem. The second problem when it comes to funding is that we can talk about all the various funding options. As a mortgage loan originator, I can assist people with purchasing primary residences, places where they intend to live, and residential real estate properties. And so there are a bunch of different products out there. I'm not going to jump into the specifics in this video, but there are a bunch of different products that you can avail yourself of. FHA, conventional, VA, right? For all the soldiers out there or members of the military in general that you could take advantage of. And then there are different stipulations, but more often than not, there's going to be a product that makes sense for you based on where you are. And so funding, although it's the biggest barrier to starting as a real estate investor, it is not something that can't be overcome with good planning. All right. So as you move to the scalar, you have 6 or more rental properties, right? Now we're really cooking with gas. So the progress is 6 to 25 properties. If you are in that range, then you are considered to be scaling your business as a real estate investor. Some of the problems that you're going to run into are you're not acquiring enough properties fast enough, and you need to limit your liability. You're getting a little bit bigger, and now you're concerned about potential lawsuits. Now you're becoming a target, right? Your net worth is growing. You've got all this equity. You got to protect it. Some of the solutions are to adjust your budget. So not just adjusting the budget pertaining to your real estate portfolio, but also continuing to look at your personal budget. Because even in this phase, people think, oh, I have all these properties. I should be able to use the money that I'm receiving from it to continue to grow. And that's true. It's not always the case. And so you constantly need to be looking at your personal budget, and that needs to be an option to supplement continued real estate investment. So we want to be looking at adjustments to the budget. You also want to increase income to fund faster acquisition. So if you have opportunities based on what your profession is to get more hours at work, maybe to do a side hustle, whatever it is, you want to be thinking not just decreasing expenses, but increasing income so that you can continue to scale this business, right? It's important to get to scale in order to achieve financial independence as a real estate investor. Once you move past that problem, you're looking at limiting your liability. We will assist you in the creation of limited liability companies with charge order protections. When you're thinking about liability, there's something that you really need to keep in mind, which is inside and outside protection. Outside protection is if you are the cause of the harm. You're driving your vehicle, you cause an accident, the other person decides to sue you. They retain counsel. That attorney does research, finds out that you are the owner of like 11 or 20 properties and you have all this net worth. And now they're trying to convince a jury that the damages caused is $2 million, right? Your ability to protect yourself from that kind of scenario is completely determined by the type of LLC you create, where you create it, the operating agreement with which it's created. So you have to make sure that you're not just thinking about the traditional ways that people tend to be exposed to liability, which is the tenant falling in the home and then suing you for the value of the home and the value of all the other properties in your portfolio, but you being the cause of harm to someone else and them trying to, the other party trying to take advantage of all the equity that you have in that home. And so that's outside and inside protection, when you're the harm and when one of your tenants is the cause of a harm. It's very important stuff, right? Very important stuff. It can get very complicated. That's why it's so important to have the right type of experience and expertise in your corner. I can assist you with the creation of all of those different limited liability company entities. As you move further along your journey toward becoming a real estate investor, and you move past 25 properties, right? You are now considered an expert investor. If you own more than 25 properties, you can consider yourself to be an expert investor. Now you're doing much larger deals. Some of the problems you're going to run into, some of the common problems are you're paying too much in taxes. You're paying a lot of money in taxes. And the management of your portfolio is becoming so cumbersome, you no longer have time to really look over it based on all the other obligations that you have on your time. And so our recommendations for solutions to those common problems are look at changing your status from passive to active real estate investor. By doing that, you become, some of the tax benefits become available to you. So there's a limitation or a cap on the amount of deductions that you can take if you're a passive real estate investor. That goes away completely once you reclassify yourself as an active real estate investor, which is much easier to do when you can show that you have more than 25 properties in a portfolio. It's just time consuming to manage all of that. The second problem that you're going to run into is management of the portfolio. At this time and every other time prior to this, you are already receiving the benefit, if you are a RINO, of our property management services. From 1 to 25, we are providing property management services to you and your portfolio. Once you get past 25, we would make the recommendation that you switch from our firm providing the service to one person in our firm providing the service. So we're going to provide that dedicated property manager just to you to manage your properties. So it gives you that much more of a tailored experience. And you don't lose out on all of the experience and expertise coming from the rest of the firm in terms of all of our systems and processes and softwares. And so that is how we would recommend you solve for management of your portfolio. Now you have one person that is managing your portfolio, and you should feel good about all the different reports that you're going to receive from the person, the timeliness of those reports, and all the rest. And so that's what it looks like to go from 0 to more than 25 properties, to go from starter to scalar, from scalar to expert. This is what we assist people with doing here at RINO INVEST Wealth Management. We highly encourage people to have real estate in their overall portfolio as they achieve or look to achieve financial independence. My name is Cassian Nuñez. This has been an explanation of the wealth management client roadmap. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us via email at contact@rhinoinvest.co. Thank you. And as always, I'd like to remind you to seek real education, invest in performing assets, get rid of bad debt, and provide oversight of those assets.
The RINO Invest and Cash In with Cassian YouTube channels are hosted by Cassian Nuñez. Cassian Nuñez is a financial planner with RINO Invest Wealth Management. RINO Invest Wealth Management is a registered investment advisory firm regulated by the Securities Division of the state of Georgia in accordance and compliance with the securities laws and regulations. RINO Invest Wealth Management does not render or offer to render personalized investment or tax advice through the RINO Invest and Cash In with Cash In YouTube channels. The information provided is for informational purposes only, may not be suitable for all investors, and does not constitute financial, tax, investment, or legal advice. All investments involve a degree of risk, including the risk of loss.